tool unboxing for you. Elves bought this for me after Christmas, this elf. Treated myself to a new saw. This was a good deal at Home Depot. You got the saw, charger, 2 batteries in here, and then 2 additional batteries for $2.99, which is a pretty good deal. Now, the reason I bought this particular one, this is not the latest and greatest, it's not the most powerful. However, I'm a Milwaukee guy for the most part, so my original intention was to buy the Milwaukee rear handle saw. But after looking at this, if I had purchased this, the Milwaukee equivalent to this, with the charger, with the 4 batteries, because I don't have enough Milwaukee batteries to run this thing all day, and I need them for my other tools too, so I would have had to purchase more batteries. You were looking at twice the price, and the saw has gotten good reviews in the past, and a lot of people like it. And I used to have a lot of Makita. I don't have much now, but I've always found them to be of good quality, so I think this is going to be a good addition to the toolbox. So let's go ahead and open this up. So this is a 36-volt saw. There's 2 batteries that you have to put in the saw, and it's the LXT version. Makita also has an XGT line, which is 40 volts, but that has a single battery in it. Unfortunately, the price of that saw was considerably a lot greater than this, and when you add the batteries in, it was a lot more. So, as I said, this is probably a better bargain for me at this point. I may never have to buy another one. We shall see. Oh, that's a little tough. They didn't cut the security thing off of it, and apparently a utility knife is not enough. Well, they did not disable this when I bought it, so now I got the alarm going off because I cut the cord on it. It's a tough bugger. I bashed the crap out of it to break the speaker with a hammer, and something's still going on in there with the circuit board, so I guess they're made tough. Anyway, that'll go in the trash. Well, that was interesting. I thought those security things only worked inside the store, but apparently anytime you try to disable them, unless they turn it off, it's going to make quite a racket. So let's get this. Having been distracted by that, let's get this open. Usual manuals and a poster of all the Makita cordless tools on that particular line. We have got one very large charger. So that's the charger. And it has 2 stations because it uses 2 batteries, so you charge both batteries at once. So quite a bit larger than most of the chargers that you're used to seeing, but that's okay. Let's see what we got in here. That gives a blade, that's nice. 24 tooth framing blade. Well, I'll try that one, see if it's any good. I didn't know there was a bag in here, that's good. Bag. So, I'm going to store it in. And here is the saw. It's in the box. So, there she is. Let me get you in closer so we can take a better look at this thing. And the wrench was in the box also too. I almost missed that one. A lot of people are complaining because this particular one, there was no place to store the wrench online, or on the saw rather. I don't care. I mean, I don't change. I suppose if you're doing a lot of demolition, you might be changing the blades more often. I generally don't need to change the blades all that often, so I don't particularly care whether there's onboard storage for it or not. So we got the 2, that's the rafter hook, the 2 batteries are on the side here. And the other thing they said, these are a little bit awkward to get out sometimes, and I can say, not too bad. They slide out. These, they got a little charge on them. We might be able to get a cut or two out of it. They got the rafter hook, so you can hang that over the over a stud or a rafter joist while you're working. It looks like it's wide enough to go over an eye joist. It looks like there's enough room between there to set down over that, but it will certainly go over a regular 2x. And let's see what we got here. We got, of course, you got your, let's check the action out on some of these things. We got, there's your depth setting, as you expect. It's not bad. A lot of depth settings on saws are kind of clunky. This one actually feels fairly smooth. One of the things about Makita that you always hear is that everything operates very smoothly. It's very, it feels more precise and less junky than some of the other, even some of the better quality tools can be kind of rough feeling, but this has a very smooth action here. And they put a rubber grip on the latch there, so that's pretty cool. Even that operates very smoothly. That's nice. And let's take a look at the bevel setting on here. So that's the, which way does that go? Go that way or that way? There we go. It goes that way. There is one nice thing about this is there is a set. You can set the bevel, detent on the bevel. So, for example, let's see what it's set to right now. It's set to 45. So rather than trying to read this and tell you what it's at 45, it'll just stop at the 45 mark, and then you can just latch it. So if you're repetitively cutting, that's a nice feature. So it has detents at 53 and 45. So those are two. I think there's one at 22 also. So that those are typically what you need when you're cutting like a hip roof. And over here, the markings are pretty easy to read on the scale itself. So that's a pretty good setup. I like that. It feels real nice. It feels real smooth. There's also a dust port on the side of this. There's a cap on it at the moment because I don't have the vacuum hooked up, but you can hook up a vacuum to it and draw most of the dust off of it. So if you're using it indoors repeatedly, it would be good to be able to hook that up. I'm not quite sure what size that is. I'll have to figure out what kind of adapter I need for it, but that is a nice feature and not bad. I have a couple saws for comparison here. This is the one I've been using. This is a Ryobi. Now, I've had hit or miss luck with Ryobi tools, but this surprisingly has actually done really well. It's not, I wouldn't consider it a heavy duty thing, but it has held up pretty good. I've built several decks with it, did a lot of remodeling. It does cut. It's not terribly heavy. I wouldn't consider it a heavy duty thing. It does tend to stall, but for the price, I think it was, the saw by itself was like $110, which is pretty good. I can't really complain about it too much, but I'm just checking. I assume this is heavier. Not a lot. I'm a little surprised. I thought there would be a big weight difference, and this is heavier, certainly, but let me pick it up from the balance point. It's heavier, but it's not enormously heavier. And then I have my old standby here, the famous Skill 77. This thing weighs a ton. It's almost unbreakable. And anytime I'm doing heavy duty work, I've been using this, but it weighs a ton. It's very tiring to use. This is much lighter. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, there's a marked difference between these. I think these are like 18 pounds. I don't have the magnesium one. This is just a regular one. I think it's like 18 pounds, and this was like 13, something like that. So a huge difference in the weight. One of the reasons I wanted to get this, and this does, actually it says magnesium right on the side of it, so this does have a magnesium base that will help with the weight a little bit. So now let's put the blade on it. There is a, okay, let's be safe here. First of all, we're going to take the batteries out. I always unplug when I'm using a corded saw, and I always take the batteries out when I'm changing the blade or drill bits or whatever. You just don't want to take a chance. So let's do that. There is a lever here to keep the arbor from spinning when you're changing the blades. So we'll hold that down. Let's try their blade. I don't know if it's any good or not. And where is the wrench they gave us? Okay. I don't know how well you can see it, but the arbor nut here, it has a hex inside of it. So in addition to using the wrench they supply you, you can use an Allen key to open that up. So let's push that. So, we may have to play with this until we get it. It was a little bit of a wrestling match to do this. All right, I found a D10 on the, so, going the wrong way. Always do that too. Because of the rotation of the blade, the saws that are left bladed, the screw goes in the opposite direction that you would normally expect. Now, unlike the Skill 77, we do not have to knock out the diamond on the blades, and that saves a little work. So we'll put this in. Okay. Try this blade out, see how it is. If it's not great, I got other blades I can put on there. So let's get this back in here. And of course I will try to start it the wrong way, as I always do, but that's okay. And remember, now we are going to be tightening, look at this, we're going to be tightening counterclockwise, not clockwise. You don't have to go crazy wrenching that down, because the way this is set up, it will tighten itself as you start using it. So you want to get it snug, but you don't have to go wrench on it like a psycho. Alright, so let's put the batteries back in. See if we got enough juice to make a cut or two. Yep, you got it. You have to hold safety down to use the trigger, and it actually goes all the way through there, so it doesn't matter which side you push. So that is a nice feature. Let's clear the decks here a little bit so we don't make a complete mess of everything. Let's see if we can see how it should go. Yeah, we'll give her a try, all right? The batteries are not charged enough, so we'll have to come back. It's kind of interesting. It's got these little ramps here, and that cover up the contacts for the battery, and so that they aren't exposed. And when you slide that in, they push down. A little bit different design than we're used to. One feature of the charger is that it has a fan in it, so I don't know if you can hear that on the video, but that is running in the background there. So you will hear that going as the batteries charge up. Also, the I did not mention that the Makita has a line of 18-volt tools, drills, impact drivers, and such, just like everybody else does. And one of these batteries will run those tools. So if you do have 18-volt Makita tools, or you're interested in buying some, once you buy this saw kit with the extra batteries, you'll have plenty of batteries to run everything. Now I recharge the batteries here, and let's see how we make out. The Makita claims that the batteries charge in less than an hour, and I can verify that's the case because I didn't time it to the minute, but I plugged them on there. I came back an hour later and they were charged, so that's good. So let's see how we make out now. Safety glasses on. Let's see how we do. Oh yeah, that's good. That's going to be good. That is much stronger than the Ryobi. And I'm not dumping on the Ryobi because I've gotten good service out of it. It was good for the price, as I said, but this this has plenty of power. So I will go ahead and use this and give you a longer term report on it later, but I think it was a good purchase. Especially since they gave us the extra batteries, because these two batteries by themselves were $279 regular price. So they threw them in with the saw, and the saw only cost, the saw kit itself with everything else was only $299. So I think it's a really good, I think it's going to be a really good bargain for me, and looking forward to using it. That's the Makita LXT 36-volt rear handle circular saw. Very pleased with it so far, and I will let you know in the long run how it goes. I appreciate you watching and subscribing, and you all take care. Bye-bye.